bag 12 yesterday, and I thought I was finished with the section where I put the windows here, assemble the windows, and put this on to the third level, which is right here. So this part right here, build up everything, and then I go to all the pieces that I had from all the bags from bag 12 are used up. There's like 3 remaining small pieces, you know, something like that is left. And then this doesn't happen often, but I'm pretty sure it happened. Turn the page and there's still one more section for bag 12, and it includes all these pieces, the corner plates here, and then of course the single 1x1 plate studs, and 1x3 and a 1x2. And I lift up the book, try to, you know, see if I lost them, if they went underneath something, underneath another bag, underneath this plate where I've been putting stuff. And no, nowhere to be found. So I believe Lego messed up on, at least on my box, and I'm missing all these pieces right here, which are, you know, if this is your only set or maybe a couple sets, then you just don't have them, and maybe you can take them from somewhere else. So I'm hoping that bag 13, which is unopened, has those pieces, and at least that's what I'm assuming. Hey, bee bandits, I'm assuming there's a mistake in the way the whole set was packaged, and those pieces aren't in here. Of course, being a Lego collector and collecting several sets over time, I dug through our containers of extra pieces and was able to scrounge, you know, on this lovely graduation plate, the pieces I need. Almost. I have one corner plate, one 1x3 corner plate. I can't believe it. I have 2 of these 1x3, and I have 2 of these 1x2, and then I'm just going to use these as another corner plate. So there's the 1x1 on top of the 1x2. Go figure. So those were missing from the set, and the set I'm talking about is the Jazz Club 10312. B Bandits is here. Yeah, B Bandits, I recognize your name. B Dog, B Bandits, let's go. And haven't hit that notification bell. Never miss a stream building the Lego Jazz Club. At least trying to, right? At least trying to. So I started out the live stream just saying where I left off yesterday with bag 12, and I cannot find 3 pieces. Past Gear, welcome. Hello, Past Gear, if I'm saying that right. Ivan's here. Let's go, Ivan. Ivan Arroyo. Happy Friday. Yes, happy Friday. It's still a happy Friday, even though I do not find these pieces in the set. This is a brand new set. Bag 12 doesn't have these. So hopefully bag 13 does. I dug up some that will work, but I would really, you know, when you spend, you know, premium money on a premium icon set, you don't want missing pieces. So I did the lego.com, you know, connection message, customer help, and said I'm missing those pieces. They asked, you know, you put in the set that you're building and you say which pieces are missing, and hopefully they will send you some replacements. The only thing is, and this is another indicator of maybe Lego just doing too much, overstretching, but 8 to 10 weeks to send out some replacement pieces. So again, if this is your first set, you're getting back into Lego, or you never got into Lego, but you really thought this would be a cool set to buy, especially right now. It's a retiring set, and it's out there for sale, and it's actually somewhat popular again because of that. Well, you know, good luck. So that's just a bug. Bugs a lot. So anyway, I will see. Let's see what happens here. I'm assuming well, I'm not assuming. I'm hoping that bag 13 might have, maybe things were just misplaced in the wrong bag and I'll have them in here. And if not, I will use, some of the pieces are in here, but I'm sure it's probably used for this part of the build as well. But I will use what's here and then see if maybe bag 12 and bag 13, there was a mix-up. But the good thing is we got another minifigure. What looks to be a magician, a lady magician at that. So she's got the magician's hat, and yes, the magician's hat and rabbit. Disappearing the rabbit, like old school magician hat and all that good stuff. So let me just give her the rabbit here. And there we go. So the Jazz Club being built up. A little bit of slowdown here because assuming Lego customer service after 8 to 10 weeks sends me replacement parts, I'll feel like I got I got my money's worth basically. But anyway, here's the magician. Pretty cool looking with the blonde hair piece and the magician suit. And you could swap that out for any other kind of minifig face or expression you wanted. All right, so another minifigure assembled and ready to go or put on display at some point here. Let me just show off the minifigures. I think there's one more left. Yeah, one more minifig left. Maybe just a random patron, someone who's attending the performance at the Jazz Club. But here we go. Here's the group so far. Got the lead singer, magician, pizzeria chef, 2 band members, maybe a patron or director of the Jazz Club, and the tailor. I think the tailor is my favorite. He's just got a cool torso, tie, suspenders, and all that. That guy looks cool. All right, building bag 13 of the Jazz Club, and somewhat hopeful and annoyed, or mixed hopeful, mixed annoyed that some pieces were missing from bag 12, and got to the end of bag 12 and they just weren't there. So, anyway, Ivan says, I'm doing good. Sorry I didn't say bye last night, yesterday. No worries, Ivan, you're back here. I'm still really excited. Pointing out, the UCS Death Star will be here for him next month. That's right, Glitchfire. Psh! Stopping by to say hello and leave a like. Thank you, Glitchfire. Very cool. And welcome to Charlie. Welcome, Charlie. Psh! All right. So, if you like Lego, leave a like, join the live stream, and let's talk Lego. We'll keep it family friendly, of course. And happy Friday to all you that are joining the live stream right now. And we're building up set 10312. Almost done. Got 3 bags left. Bag 13 through 15 have built up 1 through 15 thus far. Whoops. And really cool build. This is one of those modular sets. So if you were to, collect these, just be warned. Having built up 2 of them now, they are pretty fun to build. And if you are getting back into Lego, they are a perfect introduction back into the hobby as an adult fan of Lego, AFOL as they say. And so there we go. It's going to be family friendly because B Bandits is on the case. Psh! Let's go, B Bandits. Love it. Thank you for modding. Again, B Bandits, always glad to have you here and enjoy talking Lego and building on a Friday night here. Getting started on another weekend and looking forward to November. Looking forward to just being here in November and then Black Friday and, even if you're not going to buy anything, just to see what Lego is putting out there for release. Of course, they mentioned the Star Trek set yesterday. We talked a little bit about that. That will be a pretty popular set. The Goonies set is out right now. I think you got, at least according to West Coast time, maybe East Coast time too, you got about another 20 minutes or so to get that gift with purchase. that goes with the Goonies set. Very tempting, but it's also $320 or so. So, you know, that's a lot of money. And maybe just, yeah, determine your Lego budget. What are you going to do? I'm holding out. The Goonies set looks cool. It is very cool. I went to the Lego store last week and took a look at it. Took a look at the gift with purchase. It's a fun gift with purchase, being the attic set. And you know, and then of course people who have bought it, no doubt, will sell their gift with purchase for quite a serious profit. So that is a lot of money involved. I would rather dedicate that $320 if it's to Lego to either the Natural History Museum, which would be another modular like this one or these two, or maybe being ambitious still to get a UCS Millennium Falcon set. But we'll see. No worries, Ivan. If you got to go, understand. A lot of you guys are East Coast, 3 hours ahead. Hopefully tomorrow, live streaming, I will go earlier. So I'm, you know, trying to get in an afternoon live stream again at some point. It's just that, you know, you guys all know during the week or during the weekends, you got to get a lot during the day. The days are shorter in terms of daylight, and so sometimes it's just nice to live stream at the end of the day. It's also cool to live stream at the start of the day too. Maybe a Saturday morning live stream, although for you guys it might be midday. So who knows? Have had more luck live streaming at night in terms of getting most of the audience here. But we got Bee Bandits, and that is the key. That is the key to a successful live stream, having a good mod. So awesome. There we go. There's the magician's hat, you know, when they pull it off and voila, flowers or a rabbit pops out. And if you like if you like the little accessories that come with minifigs, there's a couple here, a top hat and a rabbit. How fun. So there's a lot that go into Lego collecting. So if you like minifigures, there's just so much about the accessories that they come with. And that Goonies set, I looked at it more closely. Those minifigures do look pretty sweet. I think obviously it means a lot more if you've seen the movie, and that's a movie from the 80s. So if you've seen the movie, it's kind of fun. Even if you're a lot younger and, you know, that movie is, you know, vintage to you, let's just say. You didn't see it when you were, I mean, it's already like 40-year-old movie, basically. You'll notice that the actors in that movie, those young actors, child actors, are people you might have seen in more recent films. Although those movies are getting old as well, but you probably have seen the Marvel movies with the Avengers and everything, and Thanos, the actor who plays Thanos, is the older brother in the Goonies movie. And then the main character in the Goonies movie, the young guy, the young man, you know, on the search for the pirate treasure, is the Samwise character in Lord of the Rings. So as child actors, you can recognize quite a few of those actors as kids. So it's kind of fun. So you got a kid version of some of those, or Lego kid version of some of those guys, and then, you know, it's kind of funny to think of Thanos being the same guy as the big brother in the Goonies movie. I think his name's Josh Brolin. So if you know actors, then you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's just fun. Hey, Kelly, welcome. Welcome, Kelly. Ivan going through some second thoughts here. I'm also deciding that if the Lego UCS Death Star, then I will get the Lego UCS Enterprise for replacement birthday present. Interesting, Ivan. So you're still considering one or the other. Now, if you compare the price, there's a total what do you call it? Total difference between the two. There's no equivalent in price there. One is half the price to the other. So I guess, Ivan, if you do that, then you have, or depending on if it's a gift or not, you know, you could basically get two really good scale sized Lego sets, one being the Enterprise and one being something else, versus just getting one UCS Death Star, because $1,000 versus a $400 Lego set, that's quite a difference. Like, you could almost get the Enterprise and the Venator, you know, that's how much of a price gap that is. So Just interesting to keep that in mind. I'm working on a stop motion, says B Bandit. Very cool. B Bandit says making a trailer for a sequel. Awesome. Thoughts on the Enterprise Bricktherapy23? Yes, I was mentioning yesterday, B Bandit. Good question. Initial thoughts on the Enterprise. Number one, it's again, it's another nostalgia set, right? So if you were around during the late 80s, early 90s, probably all through the 1990s, then you saw the Star Trek TV series that set is based on, right? Star Trek: The New Generation, a very fun and very well done TV series, and those actors are pretty popular, pretty well known. I don't know if they're as well known to a younger audience, like maybe some of you guys in high school or younger, but they've had several of the Star Trek movies with those characters going, I think, into the early 2000s or so. And then I know there have been some other spin-off TV shows that included the Captain Picard. I think they might even done a series based on his character. I don't know what they called it. Some kind of Star Trek series. So anyway, there's the questionable connection or awareness to that show just because of how long ago that show was on. So I'm thinking that set might appeal to people more my age, or maybe Gen X or millennials mostly. So definitely an adults welcome set, right? Lego's done the adults welcome theme for, I don't know, the last 5 years or so. I want to say since maybe the 2020s or so. Maybe even a little before that. So it's definitely a set that I don't think many kids will want. But it sounds like Ivan, you're pretty stoked about that set. So standing on its own. Then I was asking you, Ivan, are you a Star Wars fan more so than Star Trek? Star Trek and Star Wars are, they both involve somewhat of the same setting. Star Trek obviously still has a relation or connection to our universe or our galaxy and our planet Earth. So there's this, it's science fiction, but it's science fiction which is still related to Earth, versus Star Wars, which is a galaxy far, far away. If you get the Star Trek set when it's released within the first, I don't know, weekend or so, I think it might be pretty popular. That's what other Lego YouTubers are saying. There's a gift of purchase that comes with it, which is pretty decent. It's a shuttlecraft, which definitely resembles what you'd see on the show. And it comes with an exclusive figure. But again, if you're not familiar with this show, I don't know how exciting that exclusive figure is to you. It's not like, it's just not like something that you've probably, it's not someone that you go, oh yeah, oh that's so cool, we get that person. So I don't know, and it's just another Star Trek person with a similar uniform and outfit. The minifigures stand alone. I think they look great, even if you don't know or are not too familiar with the TV show. Hey Cole, Cole says yo. So there's that, right? There's the set itself looks great, although it's dated, like it's from another generation. It's from time and series that was definitely people from the 80s and 90s, so Gen X, millennials. And then the set itself looks like a kind of a nice glorified display piece, and I don't think there's really any interior to it. So it's almost like you're buying like one of those Star Wars MIDI sets where it's the ship, but there's no interior. So the minifigures kind of just are there to go put on display. And it's not cool like these modulars where there's, you can interact with the build itself. So it's a ship. The cool feature about the ship is, if you've ever watched this show, it has the feature where the shuttle or the Enterprise, the ship itself, it can separate. So there's like the saucer section, and then there's kind of like the bottom half of the hull, and those two separate. So in the show, when those two separate, it's like one to leave the non-combatants of the ship in a safe area, and then I think the saucer section is still like the more of the battle cruiser part, or the part where they would send the military personnel into the saucer section. So anyway, there's so much background to it. And if you'd like just having a giant ship on display and you like spending $400 on a giant spaceship display piece that's from an iconic TV show, then and you get a gift with purchase if you buy it right away, like within the first couple days. Who knows how quickly that set will sell out? Then go for it. And to me, it looks cool. I saw the TV show. I like the TV show. I don't think I'll buy it. If I do buy it, it will be way later if it's still out for release and it's for sale. But what was interesting, someone, I think Jane Bricks pointed out, if you're familiar with his channel, he just put a post on his channel and he said that a lot of people have commented that the Lego set is just a display piece. There's no interior section to the ship. But if you like Playmobil, then the Playmobil has, for a lot cheaper price, has the Enterprise characters and a ship that has, the most, probably the second to the outside of the ship being the most popular part of that TV show is the actual bridge, where the interior of the ship, where the captain is and his crew. And so the Playmobil set has that in their play set. So Playmobil and Lego, they're kind of this fun equivalent growing up. So maybe you're familiar with that toy piece. Also, Playmobil's have been out for a long time. I want to say probably as old as this form of Lego, like the brick building, at least from the late 70s, early 80s. But there's, if you want to collect Star Trek memorabilia and toys, the Playmobil one looks like a good one. It's not Lego, right? I'm probably not building too much of it. There's probably some construction part to it, but definitely not Lego. So that's a lot to consider. $400 though for a giant gray ship to display. I might, if I'm a Star Wars fan, way more than a Star Trek fan. There's not much to the Star Trek universe in terms of Lego. In fact, that would be the only set. And then if you are fortunate enough to get that shuttlecraft, then there's all that to consider. So if I had the money right now, I'd rather buy that Goonies set. I think that's a much better look, and it has all the interior parts to that ship, half pirate ship on one side, half display diorama on the other. Mila or Mila, hello Mila, how long have you been doing this Lego? Good question. Mila or Mila, sorry if I'm not saying your name right. Lego for me has been kind of two chapters. My son. So my son and I put together these. My younger son and I put together this logo for our channel. This is Bricktherapy23. So if you see this logo, by the way, please click on him below, subscribe, and like the channel. We love to live stream and talk about Lego, obviously. And when my kids were smaller, and this is like going into like 2017, 2018, they got Lego sets, and I helped them every once in a while build their Lego sets, which was so much fun. Mage Wizard, he's back. Good to see you, Mage. So when my kids were younger and they were into Lego as little people, we got a few Lego sets from Christmas and birthdays, and it was fun. One day, my younger son asked me to help him find another set that he had gotten, a Mixel set, and I actually did a YouTube short on this short story of doing Lego. So that was in 2018. I helped him build that, and like something re-clicked in my mind of how fun Lego is to build. This, model building and putting these sets together was so much fun. And so I thought, let's go to the Lego store and see what else is there. Take a look at Lego sets, what's available. I sort of noticed there's some large Lego sets that people buy nowadays, and then my eyes were wide open. I could not believe they have sets like these Lord of the Rings type sets. Back then, it was Ninjago, and I saw the Ninjago City set, and I was like, I have to get that set. If I get back into Lego, I want to build something like these giant building sets. There's modulars. And so that was 2018. So since 2018, basically, I've gotten back into Lego building with my kids, or as you can see here, just building and enjoying the whole, what we call hobby now, the Lego hobby of building and enjoying Lego. And I just realized as I was talking, I'm sort of doing random things out of order here, putting all the window pieces together, because windows have, of course, these clear plastic inserts or that snap in. So I wanted to get those out of the way before anything falls to the ground. Then you can't see it. They're basically invisible if they fall on the ground. So, and then I was saying how I opened, or when I got to the end of bag 12, I was missing three pieces, but double of this one and double of this one, 1x3, and double of this one, which is a little bit easier to find, but the color's not. And so I had to go dig into my collection of extra pieces and see if I had enough to replace these missing pieces, which I do right now, but I'm hoping bag 13 actually has these pieces, and it was just maybe a misprint or a mistake to say the pieces I just showed you were in bag 12. So I sent, you can go on Lego's customer service, or on lego.com on their website and go to their customer service and say, you can mark off the pieces that you're missing from the set, and they will send you replacement parts, which is nice, free of charge. I mean, they probably, obviously it's a free service, assuming you bought the set, and they've been very good about that in the past. The only thing is it's 8 to 10 weeks, they said right now, to send stuff to you. So I'm not sure what is going on, but yeah, so we'll see. Anyway, I found these pieces right now in bag 13. So maybe it was a mistake of where those parts were actually put. Maybe they were never actually meant to be in bag 12. So we'll see. Mage says, I got the Goonies set. Let's go, Mage. Mage with the Goonies set, and assuming you got it early on, Mage, so you got the gift of purchase. Way to go. $320 or something like that, and a very cool attic gift of purchase set with the parents and the all the accessories that go in that attic set. Very cool, Mage. Have you started building it? Yes, it looks like you have. Got the Goonies set already on bag 16. Let's go. John Powell says, never had a missing piece, just sticker sheets. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, John Powell, that this was just a mistake in terms of the order of where they put the pieces. So I got to the end of bag 12, right? So here's the end of bag 12. So this page showed these pieces here. These pieces here at the top, and nowhere to be found. I got to the end of bag 12, there's nothing left. So I'm assuming bag 13 actually has them, and they do right now, unless it's for the build for bag 13. So we'll see. And yeah, I thought I had missed a sticker sheet before. I sent Lego a message saying I had a missing sticker sheet, I think for the Django Fett set. And then I actually found it later on. So Lego said they would send that to me, but I never got it. So we'll see about this. Although, I don't know, maybe their whole backlog of sending things and making all these new sets that are on back order is the reason why there's no there's no rush right now, or you're not going to get anything that you need a replacement for right now, because they're so overwhelmed with trying to produce all these new sets, and gift purchases and everything. However, when I ordered online the October 1st sets, like the gingerbread AT-AT back here, this one, when this came out in October, like I ordered that October 1st, the night of October 1st, and got it like within 2 days, super fast. So I guess it just depends on, whatever you order. And, I don't know, maybe they're whole backlog of sending things and making all these new sets all these new sets and gift purchases and everything. However, when I ordered online the October 1st sets, like the gingerbread AT-AT back here, this one, when this came out in October, like I ordered that October 1st, the night of October 1st, and got it like within 2 days, super fast. So I guess it just depends on whatever you order. And I'm not complaining about that. So maybe I'll get those replacement parts, and then maybe I'll actually find them later on within these bags and not have to use the pieces from my collection. The good thing is, over the years, I don't do it anymore, but I would buy sets that were on sale that I wouldn't necessarily buy originally, but when the sale prices went down like 40 to 50% off, every once in a while you see a set like that at Target or Walmart. I'm like, gotta do it. So I'd buy sets like that. So I do have several extra pieces to source from, but I'd rather just have the pieces that you're supposed to get in the set, especially when you're, building these pretty expensive modular sets. John Powell says, I found usually if I use the wrong pieces, darker colors like brown or maroon can get confusing in the pictures. I agree. And that could be the case. Although for this build here, I looked at it several times before I was convinced they're missing, because it's only maroon that goes in this section here. And it's only these pieces right here at the top level above the windows. The flat pieces, the one, I don't know how to describe these one layer pieces right here. Those are the ones that were missing. Could not find them anywhere. And looked on the floor. I mean, there's nothing really cluttered on the table here other than what I've already built and finished. And I've put all extra pieces in this plastic container, and they weren't in here. So figured it's worth an email to the Lego customer service and just say, hey, I didn't get these. Please send some replacement parts. And the cool part is all you have to do is kind of go on a drop menu and say what set you're building, what the pieces are that you were missing, and you just send in your request for how many you were missing. Should usually, I mean, within reason, obviously be honest and say the ones you're actually missing, not trying to get a bunch of free Lego pieces, and they'll send them out to you. And we'll see. 8 to 10 weeks is a really long time, so I'm wondering if the backlog for that can be attributed to all these new sets that they're releasing all the time. It's crazy. And then B Bandits asked about my thoughts on the Star Trek set, and I was just saying, yeah, that Star Trek set, it looks cool. The minifigures look cool. It definitely appeals to people who knew the show from the 80s and 90s. And so definitely more probably for adult fans. But the ship itself, to me, is, I don't know, not that exciting. It looks cool from the outside, sort of, but it's just a display model. There's no interior part to it, I don't think. It does feature the part in the show, which is pretty fun, where the round part, the saucer section, separates from the rest of the ship, which they show in a couple episodes. I don't remember which ones. So yeah, we'll see. Jedi Brick says, hello, Lego Star Wars Home 1 Star Cruiser, 40% off on Amazon. Nice. Jedi Brick 64, let's go. Did you pick one up? Thanks for the 5 likes, you guys. So if you like Lego, please leave a like. Click on the Bricktherapy23 icon, this guy right here, he's probably on your screen somewhere, and subscribe as I pinned on the chat here. Thanks to B Bandits for leaving the reminder there. B Bandits, hopefully you're still there, you're still around, maybe you're just working on something. John Powell says, did you have leftover pieces? No, I did not well, I have pieces that will work because they're the same color and everything, but these are from just our general collection of extra pieces, or every once in a while you get like a Lego classic set, or I've gotten a few of those when my kids were younger, which are just like those big brick tub containers that just have different Lego pieces that you can build whatever you want. So I think that's where those came from. So I can use those, which is fine, but it's more of the principle of not getting what you paid for in a pretty expensive set. So we'll see. Still here, just animating. Let's go, B Bandits. Love it. Ice Blizzard, welcome. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Ice Blizzard says, what Lego set is that? This is the Jazz Club. one of the modular sets, and so it's coming together and working on. This is the first 2 levels all built up now, bags 1 through 12, and you got 7 minifigures so far. I think there's one, yeah, there's one more left to build, and really fun set to put together. And these modulars are always kind of a highlight of any Lego collector's personal set and collection. And so here's the box behind me. So this is set 10312, 2,899 pieces. To me, this set feels just as extensive or as numerous as building a Rivendell or a Bardor. It's just because there's so much good stuff in each one of these levels of display, you know, and you're not paying for as much as those sets are. You're just getting a lot out of this build. Of course, it's not a licensed set, and so it's not as expensive, about half the price, which is nice. And my other point about these modulars is that if you are getting back into Lego, these are fun builds to do so with. Like, if the way I got back into Lego is because my kids are, especially growing up, just total Lego fans, and so I've had fun building up Lego with them. And so you want like a, you know, you want a more sophisticated challenge, and that's what these modulars are all about. Now the challenge is just, you know, you're building a bigger set, a lot more creative elements to it. I wouldn't say it's like a harder build, but it's just fun to you know, put together a set of several thousand pieces and see all the creative parts to it, all these different rooms. And you know, you're building up furniture pieces, you're building up like a sewing machine, a jazz club stage, different like a pizzeria, and there's all these printed pieces as well to show like what an old marquee looks like in front of a nightclub or jazz club in this case. So you can't go wrong with these modulars. And if you like building Lego, and you kind of have this memory from childhood of building up Lego, these are great sets to recapture all that. And I was saying, one of my favorite Lego sets getting back into Lego as a grown-up is Ninjago City, which, like these modulars, has several levels of Lego, several cool minifigures. That one, especially in Ninjago City, was so fun because it has like a sushi bar and restaurant on one side, and then if you go build all the way to the top of the roof, it has like a rotating sushi conveyor belt. So there's just a lot of cool stuff in these modulars if you get back into Lego. 3 Girls and Bricks. Hey, what a cool name that is. Hi gang, love tuning in to your lives. Do you have plans to upgrade and stream with a wider view? 3 Girls and Bricks, thank you. Good question. Yes, I would say so. Right now it's been fun to build and live stream with the vertical angle, but yes, I think I need to do that at some point. We started out that way, and then my son and I decided to live stream this way, you know, just to get a wider range of audience, or a bigger audience, which worked out pretty well. But yeah, have to upgrade the equipment as our channel grows. That would be a fun thing to do. So if you guys are, I assume some of you guys are like into not only Lego, but also having your own YouTube channel. So leave your YouTube channels there. I'd love to connect with you guys. Our Lego community grows, and that's the fun thing. Tuxedo Cat is, the Tuxedo Cat is back. How fun. Richbeard Bricks is back. I'm breaking down the Ninjago set right now. Happy Friday. Let's go, Richbeard Bricks. Sorry, that was a tongue twister. I got to drink some water here. Get rehydrated. Awesome. Yes, you guys, the Lego community is fierce in this one. Love the names. Richbeard Bricks, B Bandits, 3 Girls and Bricks, Tuxedo Cat. Awesome. Happy Friday to you guys. So yes, 3 Girls, I gotta upgrade the equipment at some point. You know, another investment. Another investment. So it'll be fun, yeah, to stream in the traditional screen, right? The horizontal angle. We did that as we were live streaming initially. So yes, that is worth doing again. And building up the third floor here to the jazz club, making sure I get everything put together, these minor details with these smaller bricks. So yes, it looks like I'm gonna have to tap into the extra pieces I brought up, which is kind of annoying, in the sense that you should get the pieces you paid for and not have to rely on your own collection. And luckily, the pieces I have are the same color, this dark red or maroon color, so nothing will look out of place. But it was not a mix-up then in terms of putting the extra pieces in bag 13 versus bag 12. So yeah, when I started the live stream, I was pointing out that I have one page of pieces that were missing from bag 12, and I looked all around last night, couldn't find them. So if you get the Jazz Club, or maybe you've had the Jazz Club, this page 252 or 332, when you get to this page here, these pieces right here were missing. But thankfully I had some extra ones in our extra bin of just random Lego pieces, leftovers from older sets or just from classic Lego sets where you just get Lego pieces in general. Rich Beard says, you can just call me Rich. Got it, Rich. Yes, that's right. That's right. Rich says, new name B? It's a story, says B. Very cool. My friend dared me to change it to my nickname. Aha! Three Girl says, I have my channel, but I haven't recorded or uploaded any videos. I'm actually terrified to be on camera, but I would love to do reviews and live streams. My 3-year-old is really demanding at the moment. Oh, I hear that. So yes, that is a challenge. And you don't have to, I'm sure you know this, Three Girls, you don't have to do a channel that reveals who you are. Sometimes it's fun that you can keep that part of your YouTube channel like a mystery, and then you can do a face reveal later on. But yeah, there are different ways to do Lego channels. There's a few Lego channels that we know of and watch that I don't think the YouTuber has ever shown who they are. Of course, you have to be, creative in how you do the filming and everything. But yeah, that's good. The cool part is with YouTube, I mean, if you're into a particular niche, like Lego, for example, there is no really competition, or you're not taken away from like all of us because we can all share the same audience. So hopefully that works out. I hope you do start your channel. You got a cool name already. That is fun. I'm assuming that Three Girls and Bricks has some symbolism with your family, but how fun is that? Rich says, when I stream, it's after I get my little ones to bed. Yes, that makes sense. Love it. Got some young parents here. Our twins are 9, and I think I'd only been able to live stream at night as my husband works away a lot, so it makes it hard. That is a challenge. What I'm thinking would work best. The twins are old enough to fend for themselves, but the 3-year-old can throw a decent tantrum. Yes, I remember those days. Those days were, they talk about the terrible twos, but then the 3-year-olds are fierce. The 3-year-olds are very much involved in everything. And if I live stream in a room like this, if my younger son was still at that age, that door would be opening and closing constantly. He'd take the pieces off the table and it would be fun. But it would definitely be, it wouldn't be a live stream of me building. It would be a live stream of me taking Lego and negotiating with my 3-year-old to see if I can get a piece back or not. And making trades. Lots of trades would be happening. So yes, remember those days. They're fun. They are priceless. So yeah, just enjoy it. Like I was saying, the reason why I got back into Lego was my kids. And so I just love it this brings back good memories. The reason why I collect Lego now is because of my kids. I go back to the original Lego set I had, or one of the original Lego sets I had when I was younger was the Yellow Castle and or Lego Space, which I don't think I have any of those. I think I might have a couple of the astronauts, the blue and the white astronauts, and maybe some helmet pieces. I'm not really sure. I have one of the old plates that has kind of the moon surface on it, but I don't think I can find the rest. But anyway, yeah, lots of. I'm glad that the castle sets were preserved. But I had I remember now. I had a really cool Lego Space set that when I was a lot younger, when I was a kid, went on a road trip with my parents, and I think we were out in Arizona, like going to the Grand Canyon or something like that. And I left the set in the car under the windshield or under the window, like on the counter or the dashboard of the car, and the sun just got to it and destroyed it. Melted didn't melt the Lego into a liquid, but warped it, and so that was a bummer. But yeah, didn't travel with my Lego castle anywhere. That one always stayed at home. So that one is intact. In fact, I had my son build up that set just so he could experience the build, and then also experience the old school instructions, which were not as detailed as they are now. Simply, one page after the other. You just have to like observe what are the subtle changes that you notice from page to page, and just build up the set. So did one of those long form videos on our channel to show that. So yeah, little kids love it. 3 Girls says, yes, I have 3 girls, 9-year-old twins and a 3-year-old. Oh my gosh, so cute. We didn't have the terrible twos with the twins because they had each other, but having a singleton go through it now is wild. Yes. I grew up with a small amount of Lego, but I started collecting as an adult when the pandemic hit. Yes. Definitely a time where Lego was that, and Nintendo Switch were definitely the good pastimes. My first set was the Stranger Things house. Oh yeah, I remember that one. And now my twins are into Lego, and I buy it all the time. How fun. Rich says, I wish you could minimize live streams. Wish you could minimize live streams, says Rich. Chris Vick, have a good weekend. Hey, Chris. Psh, thanks for checking in. Sorry, Chris, did I miss you? Did you say hi earlier? My bad, but good to see you here, Chris. Thanks for chiming in. Make sure you guys leave a like as you are joining in on the chat. Love to see all you guys here. Rich says, Lego is a serious addiction. I know, it's hard. I was fighting the temptation to get that Goonie set, and I gotta get the Goonie set now because that gift was purchased, and you look at it and there's so many cool minifigure elements to it. So part of the appeal, of course, when you're building these large Lego sets, of course, is the build itself. How cool is this? This is looking really good. It's a fun build, of course, and then you get the minifigures and you're like, oh man, they're so fun to have. In fact, 3 girls, when my kids were getting older, we lived in Spain, so we lived overseas for when they were in their younger years, when they're small, and we found 2 Lego stores there. Not Lego stores, I guess, part of the Lego group officially, but they look just like Lego stores, and we would go there and build a minifig every time we'd visit, and at times it was cheaper over there. So over here it's like a $10, which is nice. That price hasn't changed. Hopefully it doesn't change in the new year. So it's like $10 to build a minifig, or to build 3 minifigs, I should say. And we'd go to the Lego store and do that. So 10 euros. But the last 2 times, or the last couple times when we were going to the Lego store, the build a minifig over there, or to build 3 of them, was 7 euros. So it was kind of fun because it's cheaper. It was cheaper to build 3 minifigs in Spain. Go figure, because things in Europe can definitely be a lot more expensive. All right. Love hearing about this and reminiscing with you guys. 3 Girls says, I have quite the backlog. Yes, another familiar term. That's why this one had to come out. This was in the backlog. And struggle to stick the larger sets and tend to take quite a long time to finish it. So I'm trying to focus on sets with 1,000 pieces or less currently. I hear you. I think once my son, and this is just starting like New Year's, right? Actually, December of last year through New Year's and then all through the summer is when we started building the big sets again. When I started getting back into building big sets with my kids, it would take me over a month probably to build a set like this. When I'm live streaming, I guess it's not that slow, but now I feel like I'm live streaming allows me to interact with you guys and actually build stuff. It's so funny. So yes, but yeah, you're in a different stage of parenting, so understand that. Yes, and there's lots of cool sets that are under 1,000 pieces, especially as we get closer to Christmas, right? There's one right there. And one that I think your kids would like, the upscale minifigures. Although your kids are probably, do you buy any of the Duplo sets or maybe I feel like there's an in-between category of Lego that's not Duplo, not as basic as Duplo, but yeah, there's of course kid-friendly versions. But man, when they saw minifigs, that became the thing. Three Girls also says, having a rough time with my mental health these last few months. Oh, that's hard. Yes. So to me, that's why I call our channel Brick Therapy, because it is literally therapeutic to build Lego. Brick Together. Psh, welcome. Brick Together. We were talking about the Goonies set at the beginning of the live stream. How is that going? Are you finished with it yet? I have not been able to catch you guys building that set, and I believe you started this week. But man, I had some serious FOMO with that Goonies set, knowing that today was the last day to get that set with the gift with purchase. And don't tell me how awesome it is, because I don't want to know. I had some willpower and fought off the addiction, as Rich points out, and did not get the Goonies set because that gift will purchase plus the set of itself looks awesome. And again, another set that, like the Star Trek set that just came out, another one of those sets that obviously appeals to older Lego fans, or maybe, of course, Lego strategy is to draw in people who remember shows like that growing up and for them to buy Lego because, after all, they have the income or probably more potential for disposable income to buy those $300 sets or $400 sets, which is crazy. And even if they do, I could not push myself, thank goodness, to get that UCS $1,000 Millennium Falcon set. Just the threshold, I don't know. Hopefully Lego can see the numbers and go, maybe that's not going to work. Actually, someone pointed out, I forget if it was on YouTube or social media, someone pointed out Lego's going to have issues again soon with their pricing and depending only on grown-up adult fans of Lego to buy all the sets, especially as it's becoming this like adult fan craze versus younger generations actually wanting to get into Lego, because when you go to the Lego store, it's like it feels like the majority of the shelf space is covered with the $100, $200, $300, $400 sets. And then what does Lego do? They supposedly make smaller sets, like of this box size, but it's those battle packs for Star Wars, because of course most kids still like Star Wars, I think. And then now it's a $45 box or a $45 set in a small box. Not cool, man. Brick Together says the vlog from the road trip premieres 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we are going to continue building it after our collab with Bricktonium on Sunday. The premiere is tomorrow morning. Let's go. Psh! Brick Together going to catch up and experience the Goonie journey from Montana to Colorado and back. How fun. That's some serious editing, no doubt. You probably took a ton of footage, and now you guys were able to put it all together. Oh, that's fun. I've tried to do that. In fact, I did a YouTube short. If you guys want to check it out, we went to Spain a couple years ago, back to our home away from home where we lived for 10 years. I used to work over there, and went searching for, in the town of Salamanca, Spain, an ancient medieval town, old university town. So like a 500-year-old, maybe a little bit older than that. There's a 500-year-old university there in Salamanca. But one of our first visits there, if you go to the old university structure, it looks like a scene out of Romeo and Juliet, like this very cool stone kind of, not granite, but like a lighter stone colored building with lots of carvings out front. You know, looks like something from the Renaissance, more of the medieval period. Almost like a church facade, but it's got different carvings and more of like natural features to it. Anyway, you walk into the main entrance. So this is like a giant, like 50-foot tall facade. You walk into the main entrance. It's more of a museum entrance, and right underneath all that facade is a Lego version of that building. And it was so cool to see that. I was like, they built up this whole mock of what you see outside and used kind of that stone colored brick, like that light tan colored brick, to put it up together. So my family and I went there. This was like in 2022, and saw that Lego mock. I thought it was so cool. And then we visited again 2 summers ago, or 2024. Is that 2 summers ago? And went to that same location, and it wasn't there anymore. And I was like, oh my gosh, did they take that apart? I thought that would be kind of a permanent feature to greet people as they went into the museum, but it was gone. And then I ended up asking the security guard and the lady at the ticket booth, like, do you guys know or remember, because this was 2 years prior, do you guys know or remember of this Lego build? They're like, what is this guy asking? He's not even wanting to go in the museum. Anyway, so found it somewhere else. But anyways, a cool YouTube short. I might make it more extensive and also turn it into a vlog. But yeah, Brick Together, everything that I just said just reminds me of you saying your journey was a blog. The premiere is tomorrow, though, for Brick Together. Oh yes, going back to the other topic, younger fans are getting pushed out of the hobby for kids. I know. Brick Together says, that's cool, you lived in Spain. I'm actually part Basque. Ooh, psh, very cool. The Spanish national soccer team, the football team, one of their best players, the guy who scored the winning goal in the Euro Cup, is Basque. So Brick Together, you have a good lineage there, man. A good lineage. But yes, younger fans, you need to draw in younger fans to Lego. And there's no way younger parents are gonna be buying these $500 sets, $400 sets. At least, not too many parents. I'm sure there's some that will do that. Like me, of course, with my kids, will buy these big sets and build them together. But kids who just like Lego. When we went to the Lego store to look at the UCS Millennium Falcon when it was on display, there were no little kids interested in looking at it, and it was only the older folks, not older, but like 20 somethings or older, that were interested in looking at that display, and very sparsely. I'm sure on release day, when that came out, everyone in the line to buy that set was, I would guess 18 or older. I don't know. There might be a few kids that were, excited about that. But again, that's the exception. There's no way there's a growing number of young Lego fans ready to spend birthday money and Christmas money and whatever amount of funds they can save on $1,000 Lego set. I think back when I was a kid, the Lego sets that I got, the high-end Lego sets, like the Yellow Castle, that was like the equivalent of a UCS Death Star, but that was nowhere near $1,000. I think it was probably like $100 at that time, which was a lot of money back then in the 80s. $100 for a Lego set was pretty expensive. So now you multiply that by 10. That's that's just too much. And so yeah, this one, this guy made a really good point. I have to find. I think it was a YouTube channel. It's one of those programs that get suggested through the algorithm, and I think he was a Lego channel, or maybe it was just a guy who observed economic impact on just general popular companies overall. But anyway, he made a really good point that there's the Lego fandom is, it can't just be dependent on millennials and older spending the hundreds of dollars or so to buy Lego. There'll be probably a good influx of those customers, but at the same time, you need to invest in the younger generation, which is probably why Bionicle came out and saved Lego back in the early 2000s, because that was Lego had no shortage of popularity back then, but they just weren't making any money because people weren't buying the sets. The prices were getting expensive, and I think Star Wars was already being part of the theme that they were releasing, but it wasn't enough. So once Bionicle came out, that drew in younger Lego fans again. So they're going to have to be effective with their pricing. I don't know how much Bionicle sets were when those came out, because that was before I got back into Lego. But I know that theme definitely interested my two sons. They are, especially my younger son. Brick Together says, do you think retired modulars are worth the price? I would love to get the Palace Cinema. Missed out on the Jazz Club. Target just had it for $130. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Whoa. That is a really good price. That is how I was saying I got the Parisian restaurant here, this modular, for $75 when this was being retired. I think that was like 2019, 2018. So wow, $130 for a modular now. Do you think they're worth the price? Oh, retired ones. Yeah, how much is this Palace Cinema? That is a great one. I have not looked into. I looked into the Jazz Club. Oh no, I looked into the Natural History Museum to see how much that was, but that's not retired yet. So good question, Brick Together. Good question. Yeah, I know. Mind blown, right? Star Wars came out in the early 2000s. Yeah, so I think Star Wars overlapped with Bionicle, or if the dates are right there, if my dates are right there. But yeah, that's a good question, Brick Together. Are retired modulars worth it? I don't know. If you look up the Palace Cinema on Bricklink, how much is it? I would guess that set is pretty expensive. I was looking up the very first modular. Was it the firehouse or fire station? And that thing was over 2,000. So I would say no if that's the case. But yeah, let me look with you, or maybe you're looking also. But if I looked up the Palace Cinema modular, what prices we? That one's a cool one because it's a corner modular, so that kind of completes your Lego City if you're doing that. Oh, actually, this one might be worth it. Although you might have to get it incomplete. So a complete version of it, about $200. Well, maybe, depending on tariffs. So if you can get one shipped to you from Canada, I say it's worth it. Break together about $250, $270. I can't imagine that's much more than when it was originally, and it would be used. And that was a 2013 set, but that's got what, 5 minifigures and a car, and it's a corner build, and it kind of looks like an old school Hollywood, like Chinese theater from the I'd say like Hollywood's Gilded Age, like around the 1920s, 1930s. Okay, you're seeing it for around 300. So maybe a US seller. The Fire Brigade, that's it, B-Bandits, that one. That one was on eBay. Actually, the range was crazy. It was like $275 to over $2,000. So I'm not sure what the price difference is, other than maybe the minifigures don't come with it. So I guess it's worth it if you can get it for basically the price of what you could get one of these current modulars for. Although, man, $130 for the Jazz Club. That's awesome. Also, the boutique hotel's retiring. I don't know if that one's come up as a good sell price somewhere, but maybe you get a good deal on that one. And the $130 price, was that online, or was that like you had to go to a Target store to actually get that price? Because that is crazy. I'd say that's the equivalent of a $75 price that I got 7 years ago. Break Together says, Rich, got the police station and donut shop recently. How much was the police station? That was one I missed out on. I was thinking I might get that one. Break Together says, I'm bummed I missed the Jazz Club. Yes, this one is such a fun build. I'm glad I got it. I know I didn't get it for sale, but man, I'm loving these minifigures. They're worth being shown off again. How cool are these guys? Look at that. All the accessories, the hair pieces. This Taylor guy, he's so cool. I don't know if there's a torso like that you can just get out of Build a Minifig, but how fun. Love that. So, got the third floor almost done. Slowly coming together. Again, one of my favorite features is the stained glass window look there. Just transparent color pieces. And then the fun and sad part is you build these cool interiors and then the walls slowly cover them up. And then the cool part is the access to the stairwell that goes through all 3 levels. So, yes, this is a cool build. Don't want to rub it in, Break Together, but it is a fun build. Enjoying this. Enjoying it even more, talking to all you guys. All the Lego community is awesome. How fun is this, guys? We're living in a time and generation where you can build Lego and like share in the hobby with everyone around, pretty much around anywhere around the world. Mr. Droidica, psh, welcome. Hi, liked and subscribed. Let's go. Psh. Thank you, Mr. Droidica. Rich Beard says, I got the police station for $180. Are you kidding me? You guys are finding these deals where? Is it on Bricklink? Is it on Marketplace? Did that come with the minifigures? In fact, I don't mind now that, actually, you know what, Brick Together, now you're saying that, I wouldn't mind just getting the build and not worrying about the minifigures, because we have so many of these, we have so many of the build the minifigures that, I've built over time with my kids. We have like, we could basically populate a Lego city with all the little trios that we put together over time. And my kids are really good. They're creative. Even now when we go, they're like, dude, you guys, we're not going to buy anything, but we're going to buy 3 minifigures. So go ahead and put together some cool ones. Right? Worldwide Lego community. Psh, that's what I'm saying. Nice, Mr. Droidica. Mr. Droidica, I hope you have the Droidica with that name, because that's fun. Rich says, yes, Facebook Marketplace. I think it's complete. Marketplace is king for deals. Okay, you guys, you're convincing me. I don't think I've ever gotten anything on Marketplace. I even looked there when we needed to get a used car. And actually, you know what? You could tell there's honest sellers on there. The way they communicate on there when they sell whatever they're selling, you can tell they're honest. So, or you can tell how some people communicate that they're honest. So, yeah, all that to say, I gotta check that out, because that would be like when I lived overseas in Spain. There was an app called Wallapop. I think it's in the US too. I don't know how well it was used over here. But man, I got so many good deals that way. I got brand new Lego sets. There was a Lego City set that was called Lava Explorers. But anyways, it came with a green helicopter and a green like mountain volcano build and a bunch of vehicles. My kids love that set when they're small. I let them each build a separate part of that because it was a helicopter and a forklift and a mountain and everything. And man, instead of spending whatever that set was, like $200, bought it for like 75. Um, and that was so much that was part of the fun. You just found Lego deals all over. I got the Ninjago Destiny's Bounty, that sort of pirate looking ship from the Ninjago City movie series of sets for $90. I mean, I was finding some good sets. Some of them were brand new. Some of them were only built once, and the owner didn't want it, or the person didn't want it anymore, so they just wanted to sell it. So yes, part of the fun of Lego is the hunt. Is the hunt. Mr. Droideka says, I don't have the big Droideka, but I have the magazine. I'm broke. Oh, I feel you, man. I understand. Three Girls says, Bricktherapy23. Rich says, how long would you usually live stream for? I just have my phone and a separate microphone, so I'm not sure if that's enough. Oh, Three Girls, that's all you need. I mean, if you're just starting out, you use your phone. Most people will tell you that. If you're going to start a YouTube channel, you got a phone, it works. I use my iPhone for pretty much everything. And, you know, eventually you can upgrade to a better iPhone. And then, you know, if you're like one of those legit, or not legit, if you're one of those bigger YouTube channels, then of course you can invest in more equipment, the microphones and the nice cameras and everything. I don't think I ever want to be one of those people that's carrying around a gimbal though and a camera and just like I'm out in public doing that. I don't want to do that. When we go to the Lego store and I film there, I just use my phone and just subtly kind of do clips of things. So anyway, I'm curious to see how you did your blog right together. That's going to be fun. Three Girls, we just use our phone and DJ microphones. Plug your phone in and you will be fine. Exactly. Keep it simple. Rich says I normally live stream for 1 to 2 hours. Yep, that's my limit as well. Brick Together's more ambitious, 2 to 3. Although Brick Together, you and your wife are a great duo, so you guys can kind of switch off. My younger son would help me, but he's the speed machine when it comes to building, so he just builds. Rich says I just use my phone. I do nothing fancy. Brick Together is skilled. Let's go. I'm the guy with the gimbal. I have no shame. That's awesome. Hey, you know what though? It's a guy with a gimbal looking for Lego. That's the qualifier. That's a better excuse. That's a better cause. Brick Together. That's okay. That's more than here's my morning routine and here's me eating food and here, you know, those type of YouTubers. There's many of them. I'm sure. Actually, you know what? Those are the TikTokers. I don't even know. Those are other types of YouTubers. I couldn't even begin to match whatever the appeal is or that skill set. So either way, it's fun. When I got into Lego, I wasn't even thinking of a YouTube channel, but as I was building and saw some of the old school channels like Jane Bricks and what's the other one? These guys do a really good job. They're more of like a kind of documentary type of thing. Oh, what's it called? They have like their own t-shirts. They got the microphone. It's almost like they're a news channel for Lego. Oh my gosh. I can't think of their channel name. But anyways, there's some good ones out there. B Bandit says, Brick Together is W. They have 49 gazillion gadgets and equipment to make their streams look fire. B Bandits with the endorsement. Let's go. Brick Together says, B. I just use our phone and mics, man. Oh, Beyond the Brick. Yes, B Bandits. That's the one. Psh, I love that channel. Those guys are so cool. Let's go. Mr. Droideka says, have you got any Jurassic Park sets? Oh, Jurassic Park sets. Mr. Droideka, I haven't heard about that since the summer. We do have one. I bought one that actually came on sale because it was on sale. It's a diorama set. It's a very cool one. I have not opened it. It's the one from the original movie with the Jeep. being chased by the T-Rex. I think it's more of like a diorama piece, but it's the Jeep's like, you could basically mod it and make a Jeep with 4 wheels and everything. But yes, I have that, and I think one other, and I couldn't tell you what it's just a small kind of like 3 minifig set, like in a lab with a small like Velociraptor or something. But yeah, have a couple of those. I think the appeal for those was, well, the bigger one, the diorama, was to just have something from that movie, kind of an iconic scene from that movie. And then the smaller one, I think, was just the minifigures to mod or use for my kids. And the only reason why I got those sets is the sale. I think that theme is still going. Isn't the Jurassic Park theme still going? It seemed like it was pretty popular. Yeah, but I think in terms of numbers and better deals for Lego prices, it's the non-licensed ones or just the Lego themes themselves. So Ninjago is, I think, one of the best ones for in terms of deals. I know you're not asking that, but yeah, just thinking of that. Rich says, I just streamed a Jurassic Park set last night. Let's go. Let's go. Awesome. B Dog, B Bandit says, Owen, what's up? Owen is here. Didn't even see you, Owen. Where did you show up? How did I miss that? Mr. Droidica says, after the stream, I'll check out the rest of your channel since I'm new here. Yes, Mr. Droidica. Yes, you can go back. Actually, there's a fun, it's like one of our very first videos from 2020 during the whole gotta stay in your house and you can't leave thing. And I had bought all these sets on sale. We were living in Spain, but I ordered all these sets that were on Walmart. You know, they didn't have a Walmart over there. And some Lego sets from the Lego 2 movie and Lego City Space and a couple Marvel sets. Anyway, it was like probably 20. It was a serious haul. It was a serious haul of Lego sets, and my parents brought it over because I had it shipped to their house, and they brought it over to where we were staying, and my kids and I were just unboxing all these Lego sets. You can see how small my kids were at the time. So 3 girls, if you're still watching, that's a fun video of ours you can relate to probably, because my kids were in that young kind of preschool, elementary school age. So yes, Comic Brick says, I'm all good. True, but overpriced. Jurassic Park is pumping out. Okay, yeah. As the theme goes, overpriced is the theme. B Bandits has some choice words for the Jurassic Park. Very cool. So, all right, look at this. Oh wait, got one more. Actually, maybe a couple more. I think I was about ready to show off the level 3 here, but been great conversation with you guys. Love talking Lego. Gosh, we've covered all kinds of themes from these modulars to the Goonie set. We're talking about the Star Trek set that came out, and you know how some of these new Lego sets and themes are appealing more obviously to adult fans from their generation. Will the Star Trek set appeal to younger kids? Not at all, I don't think. But there is a cool Playmobil version of the Star Trek ship which is the thing I would have looked for. That's which would probably have made me consider buying that set, which I'm not going to because it's a $400 set. But if it had the build of the bridge of the ship, like an interior part of the Enterprise, if there was a section of the bridge, not like the whole ship had to be have an interior. And I know there's limits as to what the designers can do with budget and everything, but yeah, if there was an interior build that showed the bridge of the Enterprise, of course with all the minifigures that it comes with, that might have been a decision right there where I said, you know what, I have to get that set now. I'm still saving and maybe holding out just to see what comes out during Black Friday. And I know Lego has done its best to entice you out of your money way before Black Friday, way before that, with the Black Pearl coming out in this September, of course the UCS Death Star that came out in October, and the gingerbread AT-AT, and then the Goonies set that just came out this past week, or yeah, last week I guess, and now the Enterprise being announced. That's going to be released probably like around when Black Friday rolls in, right? Like around, was it mid-November? They're gonna let or have that set go on sale or be for sale. Definitely not going to be on sale in terms of a discount. And then Rakuten, we talked about Rakuten. Look at that modern art piece right there. How fun is that? So, lot of Lego sales strategy to get you to let go of your money before any Black Friday sales hit. And then of course Target strikes with their that's kind of fun. You have to build that into the practice room or the rehearsal room for the jazz club. So Target hits with the sales also to get you to consider buying the jazz club and other modular sets at a discounted price before those get retired and out of circulation. So just a whole lot. Lego's a never-ending game of how well can you control your love / addiction to the hobby, and hold out for those sets that you really need to have in your collection. Like I said, when Ninjago City, when I was about to get Ninjago City and I saw that set, I was shopping for that set, waiting to see if it'd ever be discounted. I don't think it ever did. We're living abroad, overseas in Spain, and that set I knew I had to get it at some point soon because it had been out for a while. And then I infamously said to my wife, I'm like, if I get that set, that's all I need. That Lego set has everything. Awesome minifigures, an awesome modular build, all kinds of detail, thousands of pieces. That'll keep you busy for days. And then, if you get bored, you can always take it apart and rebuild it. And you can, and that's fun too. I'm like, that's all I'll need. And no, no, that's not true, right? That's not true. And so, yeah, you just a whole lot of Lego. There's a whole lot of Lego that just comes out. You're like, oh, I need that one too. And we've talked about other brick building companies that do some cool modulars and everything, but Lego, they capture, they have the capture of your heart and mind of building as a kid because they were around back then. So I may look into getting other company brick builds, maybe, but then that would take away from my funds to get maybe a UCS set or something. I haven't bought a UCS set, so I want to experience getting one of those. It's the Millennium Falcon, but who knows? I'd even consider getting the UCS Death Star used if we'll see how that kind of shapes up in the next year or so. If that one starts getting, I don't know. There'll be some of those giant sets that people are like, I don't need this anymore. It takes up too much space, and they sell it. I don't know how much of a deal you get it for used, but you never know. I don't really care about the gift with purchase that came with it. So I feel like that's a TIE fighter ship that you can build. You can part out yourself and get it on your own. Let's see. Hunter's Gaming Den. Let's go. What are we building here? I just joined. Hunter's Gaming. Let's go. Building this set. Here's our logo, by the way. Thanks, guys, for checking out our channel, Bricktherapy23. Thanks for the 16 likes. And I've been building over the course of about 10 live streams the Jazz Club. The box is a lot lighter now because it's pretty much all here, or almost all here. Got 2 more bags left. This is bag 1 through 12 right here, looking so good. Love this set. And again, show off the minifigures, right? There they all are. So this is the Jazz Club set 103, 12, 2,899 pieces, and working on level 3. Now the framing around the windows is looking great. Love the vintage look of this building, you know, like maybe a 1920s or turn of the century kind of architecture look here, or maybe 1930s. I guess you could date that better if you know your art history. And just finishing up what looks to be a plant build, or actually more of a terrace window treatment to the set. So I love all these details here. This gives you ideas if you ever try to build your own building, your own mock, as they say. Could you create something just as detailed as this? That's what's fun about that Beyond the Brick channel. They find those Lego builders at all those conventions, those brick fairs or whatever they're called, and you see these people put together these giant builds, like literally tens of thousands of Lego pieces that they source out and just build some amazing, like submarines, aircraft sets, minifig scale Star Wars ships, Star Destroyers, Millennium Falcons, Death Stars. It's crazy. And sets that are like tens of thousands of pieces, or even in the 100,000 range. Giant castle builds. I mean, it's amazing what people. I don't want to even know how much money they put into that, or I do. It's very cool, but yeah. Oh, what did I say? Just got the Ewok AT-AT driver helmet. Let's go, Rich. Mr. Droidica says modular something. I don't know. I just got the Mighty Dinosaurs 3-in-1 for £12.99 or £12.99. One, not $54.99. So did you get 3 for that price, Mr. Droidica? Rich says, famous last words. I only need that one set. Psh, yes, exactly, right? I just need the Ninjago City. The one I said, Mr. Droidica says, I think so. Rich says, I can never cheat on Lego. I know. We're just talking about that. What's the most expensive set you have? Probably in terms of retired sets and value, I would probably have to say the Ninjago City. I think that one's worth over $1,000. The Yellow Castle might be worth $400 or $500. It's almost complete. I think I'm missing a couple minifigures or so. And then current ones, probably to just Rivendell's probably the priciest one right now. Yeah, so yeah, there's some cool sets in our collection. I can't think of one that we did a video on Lego investing with my son, so we kind of show off some of the sets we have there. So Mr. Droidica, if you do go exploring our channel, you'll see, probably get a better idea. Mr. Droidica says, no, the smaller one's £12.99. The bigger one is $54.99. I got the small one. Got you. So, oh, Mr. Droidica, you're dealing with the British pound. Yeah, so sets over there are going to be more expensive for sure. All right, level 3 is going on the Jazz Club. And feel like I have more pieces than... Did I miss a plant or two? I think it's okay. And I think good news is maybe I did have a couple of the pieces I was missing from the start of this live stream that I mentioned. So that's helpful. Look at that. All right. So this is bag 13, and bag 14 and 15 are all that's left. But this was the fun thing I had shown last time. This is the addicting part of these modulars, right? So you get one that looks great, and then you have another one, and of course you start to see, wait a second here, I've got a Lego city. Look at that. One whole city block right there, or at least definitely half a city block, because these are good sized builds. And how fun do these builds look together when they're connected and these pins are put in place, and you have, you know, you can imagine more being put together. In fact, the box of these modulars says, you know, look at what you can do. And that's a whole lot of, that's one UCS Death Star right there. If you had all three of these, or the equivalent of the price. And then I should get the Ninjago City, because that also has, you know, pins and modular piece or sections you can put together. We have a Ninjago City. You can kind of make your own city with Ninjago Town, regular Lego City Town, Marvel Zone with the Daily Bugle or the Avengers Tower. So how fun is that? So thanks everyone for joining me on the live stream. September says, are you getting the Goonie set? No, I'm going to hold off on that one, maybe later, but I know the appealing part was getting it this past week because of the gift with purchase, but I really want to get another modular September, so I'm probably going to get the Natural History Museum at some point here. I'm waiting, I'm fighting off all the temptation of all these latest releases to see what comes out of Black Friday, and if nothing, just devote those funds to possibly build or get the UCS set. September says, I have it, it's good. Oh, nice, you have the Goonie set, so you got the gift for purchase. Psh, that's awesome. Yes, yes, Rich, done for now. Gonna try and live stream earlier tomorrow, and hopefully I'll catch some of you guys. So everyone have a great Friday. I did, for me, a marathon. Thank you for the 17 likes live stream for about an hour and a half. Have a great one, everybody. Thank you for joining the live stream.